Hello friends. Today we are going to discuss on introduction of the Groovy script. We use Groovy script in our SAP CPI. So you have a knowledge of Groovy script. So that's why uh, today's lecture is on introduction of the Groovy script. See, Groovy is a dynamic programming language that runs on the Java virtual machine. It combines the power of Java with the simplicity of scripting languages like Python. In SAP CPI, Groovy is used to write custom logic, for example, modifying payloads, validating data, or handling errors. In interviewer asked like where you used Groovy. That time you can answer the use cases of the Groovy, which I will show you in some time. This SAP CPI provides standard components like content modifier and message mapping, but sometimes you need more flexibility. Groovy helps you manipulate XML, JSON, or CSV data dynamically, perform custom validations, handle exceptional and login, implement dynamic routing and header or property logic. The key feature of Groovy is simple, powerful, flexible, and widely used. Where Groovy fits in CPI. In CPI, Groovy scripts are used inside the script step of an iFlow. You can use them to read and modify message content, set headers and properties, content flow logic, and log information for the monitoring. You have to remember all these things, okay, at the time of interview, means where you use the Groovy script. Now we are going to see some use cases of the Groovy in SAP CPI. We used Groovy for payload manipulation, means modify XML, JSON, or CSV data dynamically. Example: convert incoming JSON into XML before sending to the target system. So yeah, this is the sample example of that program. Okay, define body, message dot get body, now new body. In this way you can use this for the payload manipulation. The use cases is wrapping raw data into the structured XML format. Then second use case is custom validations, means validate incoming data before processing. Example: check if a field is empty or invalid. So this is the sample example of that script. Okay, stop faulty data from moving forward in the iFlow. So the second use case is custom validation, validate incoming data before processing. Then third one is dynamic routing. It decide whether to send a message based on the conditions. Example: route based on country code. So this is the sample script. Okay, define country. If country is India, then message set header route, route to the India system. Sending data to different system depending on the business rule. Then fourth use case is header and property handling. Set a modify header or properties dynamically. Example: add a timestamp header. So define now is equal to new date message dot set header timestamp. In this way you can set header through the Groovy. Okay, then fifth use case is error handling and logging. In this way, means in try and catch method, you can use this for the error handling and logging. Okay, catch the errors and log the details for the monitoring. Example, log payload when an exceptional occurs. And the sixth use case is data enrichment, means add extra information to the payload. Example, add a default currency if missing, means we can use to modify our data. Okay, then the seventh use case is reusable utility functions. Write helper script for the repeated logic. Example, mask sensitive data, means to reuse across multiple iflow for the consistency. You should have remember all these use cases at the time of the interview. So see carefully and remember it. Okay, it will help in your interview. So if you want to study more in the Groovy script, for that I will show you the syllabus, means which topic you should study. Okay, the in phase 1, for the basics, you have to study the variables and data type in the Groovy script, then operators and expressions, then control flow like if else, switch, loops. Then for the core Groovy, you have to study these collections, closures, functions and methods. After that, for the practice purpose, you should practice that scripts for the file handling, error handling, and then you should have study of the oops concept of the Groovy. So we use this Groovy for when working with the XML, working with the JSON for the data transformation. You should have a practice of all these things. Then it will be easy to use Groovy in SAP CPI. So I will show you slowly this document. Okay. So note it down. Which things you have to study. Okay. Then this is the introduction part of our Groovy. Remember this use cases at the time of the interview. Okay. You can tell all these things. Whenever if anyone asks for what purpose you used Groovy in your iFlow, you can say like for the payload manipulation, custom validations, dynamic routing, header and property handling, error handling and logging, data enrichment, and last is reusable utility functions. Okay. Thank you guys.